I am Beardmohbox and these are my top 5 draft grades. Now I'm going to cover each division in real depth, but for now I wanted to make this video and I thought at first that I'd struggle to find a clear top 5, but when I started grading the drafts there were 5 outliers at the top with one team right on the edge, but not really any other teams outside of that. But I'm not saying only 5 teams had good drafts. Firstly, to get an A from me, the draft has to be excellent, and secondly, and probably more importantly, unlike other grades, I'm not looking at it in the sense of which team picked the best players at the best value, but rather which draft classes are going to have the greatest actual impact on the team. Put it this way, Ezekiel Elliott may have been the best player available, but he's not getting any sacks, and that's what Dallas needs. Jalen Smith may be the most talented linebacker in the draft, but he doesn't help a team with a 36-year-old quarterback this season. But I'll get into all of that when I cover the NFC East. For now, let's take a look at the top 5 draft grades of 2016. At number 5 we have the Colts. Talk about a team that knew what it had to do in the draft. Coming into the draft, it was clear they needed to upgrade their offensive line, and they did it by snagging the best interior lineman in the draft in the form of Ryan Kelly of Alabama. They later added 2 tackles, as well as adding some much needed defensive help. No first round receivers this year, the Colts got serious compared to last year and simply addressed vital needs. A speedy group of receivers is useless if everyone throwing them the ball is getting injured. Number 4 are the Tennessee Titans, drafting a player in every position of need and getting good value at the same time. 2 years in a row, the Titans have drafted that year's Heisman Trophy winner. If the draft is a game of chance, the Titans are making safe bets. O-line and defense were big needs, and what did they draft the most of? O-line and defense. Throwing in Derrick Henry, who creates a combination there in Tennessee with DeMarco Murray that people are calling Thunder and Thunder. There's not much difference between 3 and 2, but here at 3 sit the Baltimore Ravens. I'd probably have them this high even if I didn't know who they drafted. Ozzie Newsome doesn't do bad drafts. They added a big time player in Ronnie Stanley at tackle, and although the Stanley versus Tunsil debate will inevitably follow him around, I think he has the physical gifts to come out on top. They also picked up a bunch of pass rushers and the odds are in their favour for at least one of those to hit. Above all, it was a balanced draft helping both sides of the ball. What else have we come to expect from Newsome and the Ravens? At number 2, just edging out the Ravens are the Cleveland Browns, and who thought that would be said? They started by hoarding a bunch of picks and then used them well, and it's even next year that they really should be benefiting from the trades with their 2 first-round picks. And I loved this draft by the Browns, loved it. Coleman was a dream pick. I made an entire video about what the Browns should do, and in that I implored them to copy the 2011 Bengals. Now Coleman is no AJ Green, but the team's approach is a match. They didn't waste their first round pick on a quarterback, and in fact didn't go for one until their second pick in the 3rd round. Instead they picked up 2 pass rushers, one of whom was first in sacks last year and the other who was second. Cody Kessler was a solid choice, by no means the best quarterback in the draft, but the Browns have 2 first rounders next year to find their quarterback of the future if that's what they decide to do. At the very top, graded like this by pretty much everyone and their mothers, are the Jacksonville Jaguars. In a way, I like the Browns draft more, but only because we expected the Jaguars to draft well. The same can't be said for the Browns. However, no one expected the Jaguars to score like they did, and luck was a large part of it, as superstars just fell into their lap. All they had to do was write the name on a card. The Jaguars had one of the better offenses in the league last year, with a deadly passing attack and a rushing attack that they reinforced in free agency, so coming into the draft, defense was obviously a priority, and they addressed that big time drafting defense, a backup quarterback which is just good business, and defense. That alone makes it a good draft, but their first 2 selections give it all-time great potential. Alright, so that does it for this video. I didn't want to go into too much detail on a pick-to-pick basis because I wanted to save that kind of stuff when I do the teams division by division. This was just a quick rundown of who I thought were the best draft classes. It really at this point is kind of opinionated. You can't really say anything until the players have proven anything, of course. But I hope you enjoyed this video and tell me who you think had the best draft class this year.
Oh my god, play!
Hey, you made it to the end of the video. If you haven't seen the previous video yet, you can do that by clicking here. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, you can do that by clicking here and subscribing. New videos every Friday and Sunday, and sometimes Wednesdays too.